Yo, 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 what is up, YouTube? Playing some Chang'e today because she got buffed and also because my amazing, awesome, super cool girlfriend Lizzie requested it. No, but seriously, like, Chang'e did get buffed and I was looking at it and at first glance when I saw the buff, I didn't think too much of it. I was like, okay, extra damage. Alright, cool. But, like, honestly, I think it genuinely could make her very viable in Duel. Now, let's not get carried away here. I'm not saying Chunga's OP or a must ban or that you should pick her, but before this patch, it was kind of like if you picked her, you know, you kind of just cheesed the early game a little bit, and then you inevitably just lost late game because she doesn't have enough damage, and the buff actually gives her more damage. So, we'll see. Against an Agni. Oh, I know this guy. He almost always plays Poseidon. This is the first time I have ever seen this guy not play Poseidon. If it was open, and it was open this game, so interesting, interesting. He's actually been in a couple of my videos, I think. At least one, if not two. At least one, if not two. But yeah, like I said, she just doesn't, like, do that. Like, she's kind of a weird god, because it's like, or at least she was. Like, my theory is that she's going to be, you know, fine now. But she's kind of a weird god in the sense of, she's like a poke character with her low cooldowns, but also an all-in character with, like, her ult combo, right? And the problem was, poking people doesn't really get you too much usually. Maybe a buff or something, but poking people doesn't usually result in a win. What's he doing? Is this just a... Oh! Dude, man. Maybe I should have got my 2 to try to immune that. I wasn't even thinking about it. I kind of thought he was DCing, to be honest. I don't know. But, it's weird because, like, poking isn't, like, necessarily... Oh, he's on the buff. That's a rip. I wasn't paying attention. YouTube moment, YouTube moment. Honestly, I can't even blame that on, like, YouTube, like, recording, because I just be, sometimes I just be thinking in my own head, and I don't even remember. Like, people will walk to the buffs right in front of me, and I'll be so out of it, I don't even pay attention, man. But anyways, I did just wake up, like, a good, like, 20 minutes ago, or, well, like, I woke up, like, 40 minutes ago, we should say. 40 minutes ago. I ate breakfast and stuff, but I still am waking up a little bit, so forgive me if my voice sounds different or something. I don't know, like half the time I say that, and like sometimes it doesn't sound much different, so I don't know. Well, either way, if it does, you know why. If it doesn't, then ignore me, I suppose. I suppose. There's gonna be a lot of farming this game, man. We are going to be farming. Because, like I said, oh, I didn't finish my point about Chang'e not doing that much damage with her burst combo, because while her base damage is pretty decent, it's pretty good, on that same note, her scaling on her abilities, while they're low cooldowns, that's good, but her scaling on the abilities is not very good. If I remember correctly, because like I don't think I can look at it here, if I remember correctly, Chang'e's scaling basically consists of 70% on the one. No, I think it's 60, 60, 70. And that's really low for a mage. They're balancing it out because she's a bit of a healer slash defensive mage, but also she has low cooldown. So you don't want low cooldowns to hit like an absolute truck or anything. But it's weird because late game, her entire combo basically relies on like blinking in and one-shotting somebody, or maybe you don't go blink and duel all the time. Ow. But the point is you want to kill them quickly before they kill you, and she just doesn't really do that much damage, you know? Like, you're basically forced to go like an upgraded med to try to spam your cooldowns as fast as possible because you need as many as you can because they don't do that much damage. And that's still going to be the case a little bit, but and I probably should have said this at the beginning, but the buff to Chang'e, essentially, long story short, what it is it's a passive where whenever maybe it's on the case screen actually. Yeah, whenever Chang'e hits an enemy, I think it counts towards minions and all that. Ow, as well. Whenever I hit a minion, my next ability does 5% more damage onto that person or to that thing. I think I just ult him. If he goes to stun combo me, okay, not there because he already used his 2. Can I even get that blue? I'm just gonna play it safe, man. At least until second item. I'm gonna play it safe until at least defense. I don't know. Maybe I'm a wuss, but like I just don't really feel that crazy about getting a kill early game as Chang'e. Like I might win the trade, I might get the buff maybe, but like I don't know. I'd rather just kind of farm up and make sure I get to this late game stage. I'll be honest, I actually missed the one on him. I didn't mean to. I meant to hit the minions and him. But as you can tell, oh, he was using that on the buff. I think we're just gonna back here. I have no anything, man.
Looks like I'm on the front line.
Looks like I'm on the front lines. I forgot what I was just talking about, by the way. But to get back onto the passive, because I don't know if I finished that thought, but to get back on the passive, they take 5% more damage from your next abilities, and I don't know how long it lasts. See, it says within the, it doesn't even tell me the end. I think it's like 3 or 5 seconds, and every time you hit them, it refreshes. So in a perfect world, you know, this doesn't always work because some gods are fierce and make you run away, but you know, in a perfect world, you want to hit them with like your heal, then your 1, and then you get like a Genji's proc or something, and you hit them with another 1, so that way you hit them with 3 abilities in total, thus they'll have a stacking debuff of making you do 15% extra damage to them, and then you ult them and hit them with your other 2 abilities, and you spam and stuff. So like in a perfect world, you want to ult after stacking your passive fully, but it's kind of hard to get 3 stacks on them. Oh.
We got this.
Ow. It's kind of hard to get 3 stacks on them though. What is a lot easier to do is just hit them with your 1 and your 3, or your 3-1, whatever. Because the 3-1 combo is actually faster than the 1-3. Like doing this, that's faster than if I were to 1-3. So, you know, in a non-perfect world, but still pretty good, if you 3, then 1, and then you ult them and get your cooldowns reset, your ult will do 10% more damage, and then your abilities after the ult will still do that 15% we were talking about. But I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't realize when I was reading it that it would help her wave clear. Although, I'll be honest, that's like the least important part. That's kind of not that relevant. But it does help her wave clear. It does help her objective damage. And most importantly, it gives her more damage in the late game without actually giving her more scaling. She just simply does more damage passively as she lands abilities if she keeps doing it in a row. Another reason why I'm really not too crazy about this early game, I am going to start trying to fight a little bit more because, you know, this is a YouTube video, and as much as I want to show you guys competitive gameplay where you're, honestly, as Chang'e, unless you're in like a dominating matchup, I'd say most of the time you're kind of just farming. Like, so this is competitive, just kind of chilling and farming, not looking for anything too crazy. It's a competitive play, but it might be a little bit boring to watch, and I don't think I need to play this safe necessarily, so we're going to fight up here a bit. I'm just going to ult early, put it on cooldown. Alright, we got... Yo, we do so much damage. Okay, in my defense for not wanting to fight him earlier, in my defense, he did dash in on us right there, okay? He did dash in. I did say I wanted to wait until 2 items for defense and cooldown resets, which I did have there. And also, we had the red buff. The red buff went absolutely crazy there. Actually, I was going to say I don't think we kill him without red buff. No, I know we do not kill him without red buff. Because not only would that last one probably not have killed him without red, but he wouldn't have even been in that range of HP without the red. But yeah, it all just kind of worked out perfectly for us. We have red buff, we have the items I said we wanted, and that dude just dashed into us right at the start of the fight. Like, he just, you know. And sometimes, by the way, this is me coping a little bit, saying this is the reason why I totally knew that would happen. It's a little bit of cope, but it's also a little bit true. That, like, me playing passive in the early game and not really doing too much probably gave him the confidence to dash in like that. Like, he probably did that because we weren't fighting. He probably did that because he thinks we can't kill him. So, you know, it is what it is. We're not going to back here because we don't need to. Both because we have the bunny to buy whatever item I want, but... Oh, I did have a build here. Yeah, we'll go with this. I actually forgot. You guys might have noticed it at the beginning of the video. I put some items on the list here for the game that we're playing. Because it'll make it a lot faster after the match. You know how like after the match I show you guys the builds and stuff? Well, it'll make it a lot faster to show you guys the builds if I can just either one, which I might do, just stop showing you guys the build I just used because it's kind of implied I just used it, or I just preset the build that I'm going to use. Now there's a lot of... What? Okay, I was about to ult him soon if he stayed around. There is a lot of counter building in Duel, so if I start pre-prepping builds, unless it's some gimmick, I probably will have to change them a little bit, like if I need anti-heal or stuff like that. And that's fine. I'm definitely down to do different items than these. This is just a core ideal, like if I, in a perfect world, I would build this. At least this is what I think is good in my head, so. We're going to back up here. Hopefully he doesn't stop us. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he? Smile. Oh, he got so much anti-heal. That's interesting. As irritated as I might have sounded by him stopping my back, it was pretty competitive and smart to stop my back there, because now he probably gets the red buff. So, as irritating as that is, I definitely understand why he's doing it. I don't really see how I would contest this if he has the timer. Yeah, it's dead. It is dead! Alright, we do have like double med. I'm calling my shard a little meditation, because, you know, it effectively does that. So if he like dashes in on us or something, which I seriously doubt he will, but if he does dash in on us, we could probably just own him with our cooldowns. He did just get our Genji's proc, which is not great. So I would love for that not to be gotten. Wait, did I say that was great? If I did say that was great, I meant to say isn't great. That's one of those moments where you just like reflect on what you just said. It's like, wait a minute, what did I just say? Like I said, I just woke up, man. I remembered saying that apparently. I just woke up. My brain's a little off, but that's not gonna stop us from beating the buns out of this Agni, man. That is not going to stop us. Back before you know it. Alright, so in my build here, looks like I went Spear next. By the way, this is the build, in case you're wondering, in case you haven't paused the video to check. This is the build. Obviously, this defensive item was if I was going to be against a physical. That was not the case, so we'll just ignore that. But the rest of it, you'll notice one thing about it. These are really strong and high damaging items. Like the Magus, if you haven't kept up with some previous patches and whatnot, I'll just let you guys know. Magus now has percentage pen, so it's a lot better of an item. Plus, it got buffed again. The proc got buffed this patch. And Doom Orb also got buffed this patch, both in movement speed, and now it has pen. So, for those of you who don't know, because you haven't been keeping up with the patches or whatever, this build, like, these items may be odd to you, like, you may have, maybe questioning them a bit, because you just don't know that, like, they got buffed, like, they're just better items now. And, you know, a few patches ago, I probably would not be going these items on Chang'e, but we are now, especially the Doom Orb. Doom Orb does not get bought a lot. I think we all know that, but I think it deserves a little bit of play in Duel now. Oh, my only question is I don't know how good it is.
Damage field.
Right now, we just simply do not have the damage to kill him. Like, for sure, we don't. Because he has an entire Pestilence, which is like the tankiest item he could have gotten there, pretty much. 80 protection, that's the highest prot. 250 health, that's tied for like some of the highest HP he could have gotten. At least in like optimal items. Obviously, he could have went Stone of Gaia or something, but that's not gonna help him out too much here. I don't know. I mistimed that, curses. I can't fight for this, man. Agni is a very good, yeah, he's a good dual god, but more specifically than just being a good dual god in general, I was gonna say Agni is actually very good against other mages. In fact, not too long ago, I posted a video saying Agni was a mage counter. And I still agree. That wasn't clickbait, by the way. I don't clickbait as far as, like, lying. Straight up just a lie. I don't do that. You know, there might be some exaggerations and whatnot, but I do not just go like, oh my god, Zeus is the best mage in Duel, and then like he sucks. You know, like I don't just straight up lie. I truly do tell you guys how I feel. I just might, you know, sometimes we might exaggerate it a little bit, but I really do tell you guys the truth. And Agni is really good against mages. Truly he is. But you know what else is kind of funny is I would argue that Chang'e is good against mages as well. Like immunities, her 2 is very good against mages. Um, she has unmissable abilities, whereas most other mages probably have like harder skill shots than my 3-1 is gonna be, right? Like he just missed his bomb, right? I didn't miss any abilities. Now granted, he's still kind of traded pretty well with me, but this is a weird match though, I would say, because we're both kind of really good. We're both mages that do pretty darn well into other mages. So it's kind of like the battle of some titans here.
We got this.
Does my 3 still have anti-heal on it? Let's see. No, because I think I remember reading that where they like removed her anti-heal or something. It's just super weird to me, but alright, we immune to his stun, his ult, and his 2 there. It's pretty good. Let's go check back here and see if there's a chest.
Energizing.
There is a chest. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'll be taking that. What was that? What was that? Oh, also Rod got buffed as well. I don't think Rod's that uncommon for people. Like, I think people like Rod, but it has been a little bit underwhelming for a while now, for how much it cost at least. But Rod got buffed, and also I think both of the glyphs are very good on Chang'e. I truly think you can go either one of the glyphs. One glyph is about cooldowns and movement speed, perfect for Chang'e. The other glyph is a meteor that lands if you can secure, if you can CC them, which I'm going to ult them, and then the meteor will land. So, like, truthfully, I don't know which one's better. I'm probably going to go, like, if we get there, I'll probably go the CDR movement speed one. But I do think both of the Rod glyphs are very good. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it, but one thing you'll notice about my build here that I have, though, is, I mean, you can't really see the prices now, but all of the items I'm buying are very, very expensive. I guess so is his, though. They're either, like, in the middle range, maybe slightly pushing towards the expensive range, or in the expensive range. Like, Divine is, like, $25.50, I think. That's not expensive, but it's not cheap, bro. That's, like, near the top end of, like, the middle, you know? That's the high end of the middle section. Alright, we gotta do more. Ooh. Dude, he's spacing himself. I haven't bought a second relic, if you're wondering, by the way, because truthfully, I don't know what I need yet. I'm kind of waiting to see the matchup play out a little bit better, so I can tell more visibly what I need and what I don't need. But also because I kind of want the relic to be a surprise for him, and then also, you know, as if we needed a third reason. And also, this shard, I mean, is not bad. Like, unless I'm going like a beads, in which case I can upgrade the beads and get cooldown from that. None of the relic choices are going to give me more cooldown. So it's like, this shard, I mean, there's an argument to be made that this shard is actually better than any relic I could buy right now. Depending on the situation. The biggest rival would be like Horrific. Horrificing him, and then he dashes away, and he's slowed from the Horrific after the dash. And I can catch up to him easier. That is very powerful, I think. But I also think Blink is powerful. You know, get his dash, blink on him, one shot. I think that's very good. Or even just start a fight that way, shoot. So I don't know. I think we have options, is what I'm trying to say here.
All geared up.
This game, of course, like I said from the beginning, is probably just going to come down to who gets to late game, or when we get to late game, who just kind of one-shots the other, you know? I did not think this game was going to be a quick one by any means, like, because I'm Chang'e, first of all, but he's Agni. I mean, like, we're both late game mages that need to farm to late game, so it's not like it's just one. We got 2 of them on this battlefield. Because normally it'd be like, if I'm a late game mage versus like a Bakasura, well then he's just going to go for Bull Demon, try to rush the game as fast as possible, and snowball. But we're not against a Bakasura, so... Alright, we did it. It's just that easy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one. We just used our normal combo, and we popped our relics, which gave us more cooldowns, which allowed us to get another 1-up before he died. Or before he got away, rather, and stunned us. I guess both. Before he stunned us and got away? Before you got away and stunned it? I mean, you know, either way.
Time to charge
Same
up.
thing. Slice, 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 slice. I am noticing, I do, like, I don't know, Agni is not a tanky god at all. He's actually one of the squishier mages, I think, because he's like an artillery mage. But still, with that being said, I am noticing, I don't have a red buff or anything. Like, I am noticing I do good damage. Like, for Chang'e, you know, because at the beginning of the game, I told you guys, she doesn't scale well. I don't quote me on this, but it's somewhere close to it if I'm wrong. Her scaling is like 60%, 60%, 70%. That is really bad for a mage. Like, that's actually very bad. Yeah, we're just going to get the horrific. Why not? But yeah, it's very bad for me. Like, her scaling isn't good because they're low cooldowns. But the problem with the low cooldown theory is, what if they get away from you, right? Like, what if this Agni just walks away? It doesn't matter how low my cooldowns are if he walks away. But that's why we built the relics that we did. Our relics consist of cooldown and something to slow him down to where he can't get away from me.
Damage field.
Yeah. Oh, we got some movement speed from our glyph there. A little bit of healing action. Alright, he dashed. Might be able to get him here.
Push them back.
Just that easy. Dude, I actually do good damage, man. I really do. This feels nice.
Damage field.
Like, again, just like I said at the beginning of the video, even though now I see what kind of damage she's capable of, Chang'e's not going to be broken in Duel or anything, but the thing is right now we're in a bit of a mage meta. Maybe it's changed a bit with the current patch. I haven't got to test enough to know for sure, but we're in a bit of a mage meta, and unironically, Chang'e does well into mages. She does. At least if she doesn't get snowballed. Like, a mage like Hebo might have just simply too much pressure and would get too many buffs and would run you down too easily. Although I think late game Chang'e could actually stand up to a Hebo. But I don't think you should necessarily get to late game versus a Hebo. So, you know, obviously it's not flawless. There are going to be some mages that, you know, she doesn't do the hottest against. But generally speaking, in a mage meta, Chang'e is a pretty good pick. Just make sure you're banning Just make sure you're banning specific counters, like things that can stick to her incredibly well, like Bakasura, Bastet, stuff like that. I think we did horrific him last fight. Okay, we didn't even have our med up and we killed him that quickly. It's beautiful. That is beautiful. But yeah, a quick recap on the build though. We have full cooldown with the power potion. We have passive CDR on the Chronos Pennant. We have passive CDR on the Genjis. We have Mirrodin proc. We have Spear the Magus proc. We have Doom Orb that just gives us movement speed to chase him down, and also it has 10% pen. We have this glyph, and again, stat total, because people might not know, because these items didn't used to give pen before. We have 40% pen in this build right now. My last 4 items all have 10% pen on them, so it's a very good build, I think. It's lacking anti-heal, but I don't think I mind that. It depends on the character we're against, but they did just nerf healing and stuff, so I do not think I mind it that much. You know, honestly, I probably should have fought right there, considering, well, we have the advantage. We have the fire minions and stuff, but also because I had a red buff there. I kind of want to see my red buff damage, but alas. Oh, one other thing that I should mention, although they did kind of just say it generally in the patch notes, is Chang'e's heal doesn't scale anymore. Nobody's heal scales anymore, as far as I know, off of power. You see here by the damage on the 3, it says 444 in parentheses over here. That's because that's the damage I'm getting on that ability from magical power scaling. And the heal doesn't have a number next to it, meaning my heal is always going to be 200 no matter what, with the exception of like the enemy anti-healing me. Like, I mean, it's not going to go above that. I guess that's not true either because there's auras, but oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. That he kind of like suicided right there, I'll be honest. Like, that was kind of a silly situation for him to be in. But even with that being said, you guys can see the damage, man. And would I have killed him without the Chang'e buff? Probably, because he misplayed, right? But let's say that he doesn't misplay. Would I kill him without the Chang'e buff? I don't know. Probably not. Like, it really depends. Like, of course, a little buff like that. I mean, it's a big buff, but of course, a little buff like that. Oh, we're in GM still. Pretty cool. I was actually super surprised to see that I only played like 6 games and I was number 1 for a while. Oh, we're back to number 1. Oh, cool. I've literally only played 6 games. Like, this is just the biggest joke ever to me, I think, is that you only play 6 games and I'm the number 1 GM player. Wow, I'm so good. Oh my gosh. But anyways, this is why we preset the build, is to show you guys ahead of time, but also because when I go here, you guys can see this is what I would build. Of course, we went Genji's there because we were against the magical. This is what I would build. Now, what are some honorable mentions? Honestly, like, I don't know if we need anti-heal in this meta or not. It depends on the character, but I'm of course gonna throw the anti-heal there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And then let's see. Is there anything here that I would truly... I think Soul Reaver is very good when you're against... Soul Reaver is very good when you're against a tankier person, like an Osiris, or like pretty much any warrior, honestly. It can be very good. You can choose whatever item you want to replace it with. I'd say like in this top 6 build up here, or in this side, sorry. Which ones would you be trading out for some of these items? Like, what's the least valuable item in this build? I hate to say it because I truly love all these items, but it's probably either Doom Orb or Magus. Chang'e, it depends on the matchup. Like, if you're in a matchup where you really get that movement speed well, like you use the movement speed well by running away or by chasing in that matchup, then the Doom Orb's more valuable than the Magus. If you're not finding too much value out of movement speed in the specific matchup, then the Magus is just going to be more burst damage. So let's see. Can I think of one more item here that I think is pretty good so far? I think this build, honestly, though, I think the build is very good. I don't think I would deviate from it too much. One thing you could do is go Tablet of Destinies early game, and then stack that throughout the game because she has low cooldowns. But honestly, me personally, I wouldn't worry about that, so I'm not even going to put it on here. I would not worry about that much at all. But another option... Honestly, I think this is it. I think this should be... This is an ideal build, I think. It just has a good mix of everything, where it's pretty good at every stage of the game, and it just feels really nice. It's kind of like a flawless build, I think. The only real flaw being it doesn't have as much power as you could have if you had like a book or a warlocks. You know, if you want that kind of thing, throw that in there at the beginning of the game. Like, swap out your Doom Orb or your Magus, get a stacking item at the beginning, and then go Chronos a little bit later if that's what you want, if you want more power. But I think this build's really good. The only downside really is of the power, like I mentioned, but the power is good though. It's 630 power is not bad. And also, if you need anti-heal, and also this build is expensive. But to be fair, mages kind of have expensive items. Like a lot of these cheaper items you'll see aren't really that crazy good. Like, one great example of one that is good is like Poly. That's going to be pretty good. This is not going to be good, not going to be good. Situational. You know, most of the cheap items aren't super hot in Duel. So even though this build is expensive, that's pretty on par with the mage class. But I hope you guys did enjoy watching the video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.